Welcome to Cosmedi Pros this week. Today I am speaking with Kim from Kalista Aesthetics Clinic. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Thank you, Matt. Hi there.
You've had quite an extensive background coming from the NHS and then more recently made a transition into aesthetics. If you'd like to tell the listeners a little bit how that came to be and what brought you to Kalista Aesthetics Clinic.
Okay. Well, so I've done about 35 years in the NHS, all told, and the last 25 of which was in the Salisbury Intensive Care Unit. And I was lucky enough to be able to retire at the age of 55, and use that sort of pension pot really to sort of fulfill a bit of a dream. So Kalista really was sort of born out of a lifetime of interest in the beauty industry and particularly skin, which I've managed to sort of do later on in life. So came to it a bit late, but thoroughly loving it and enjoying it.
Critical care nurse is a very commendable career to come from. My mother actually did a similar career and retired. So yeah, I know that's not
and
an easy job.
there are lots of transferable skills that come from, you sort of think it's quite extreme from what I'm doing now, but we were looking after burns victims, we were looking after people that were in bed for a long time. So skin was a really important factor with all of that. And I've been able to transfer a lot of what I know sort of into what I'm doing now.
Was there like a pivotal sort of experience in your nursing career that kind of shaped your perspective on skincare and aesthetics and how you approach now?
Probably just that, sort of looking after patients that had severe compromise. So, and sort of helping with that sort of healing process, particularly burns patients. Salisbury used to be quite a major burns centre, but yeah, so a lot of that, pressure sores, things like that. So it's all very relevant when it comes to knowing, how to nurture and improve skin and get it to the sort of optimum health, if you like.
Kalista, you've got quite a variety of treatments that you offer. How would you tailor your approach to the sort of individual need of clients? What's your kind of comes in?
Funnily enough, Kalista was sort of, it's kind of grown exponentially, and really with it, just sort of my own interest has sort of diversified a little bit. So the very first device that we bought was the body contouring device, so with the fat freezing, and that was great, and probably born out of a sort of personal desire to have such a machine at my, at my disposal. But anyway, so that was something that we sort of started off with. But at the same time, I wanted to not just do body, I wanted to do some sort of facial sort of treatment. So the Hydra 2, the Hydrofacial, was the next device that we sort of invested in. And that was it was great. And it does get nice results, but it sort of didn't fulfill a desire to really improve skin on a sort of long-term cumulative basis. So we went from that to doing sort of microneedling, where we started to see real improvements in, the patient journey. From that, we went on to doing chemical peels, and then really just sort of increased our microneedling menu, if you like. We now do 3 different microneedling treatments. We do the basic, which isn't that basic, it's a great treatment. We do EPN, which is electroporation with microneedling, where you're using a little bit of electric current in with the microneedling, just to sort of improve product permeability. And then there's the microneedling with radiofrequency, the Dermaforce. So we've kind of progressed, if you like, with the intensity of the treatments that we can offer. And then we've sort of gone from that, moved over onto laser treatments, particularly the IPL, the Linton IPL, which is a fantastic device. And as nurses, it's been really important for us to sort of choose our devices really carefully so that they're CE certified or FDA approved. The Linton device is one that's on the NHS supply chain, so they're using them in dermatology clinics across the UK. So we've really been able to fill a lot of gaps in what we were offering in the past, and now we can treat skin problems as well as just improving skin. So we've gone from sort of skin rejuvenation and improving fine lines and wrinkles to actually being able to help manage acne, rosacea, quite bad pigmentation, some nasty sort of hair removal needs from, particularly from polycystic ovarian syndrome clients, where they have sort of this sort of male distribution of hair. The device is brilliant for that. And then we've sort of extended what we can offer with that by including the ND-YAG, which does leg vessels, etc. So we're really sort of diversifying what we can offer clients. And whenever we come across something where we go, oh, I'm not sure that we can help you with that, we start looking for something that we can do next, if you like. We can do thread veins with the Thermavane treatment. We can remove lesions with the cryopen. So yes, our menu has got quite big. We're doing quite a lot, but it makes for a really diverse sort of day, if you like. So we can be sort of treating leg veins 1 minute and fat freezing the next. So I love it.
Keeps it challenging. And so do you find, like when clients come to you, do they kind of come knowing what treatment they want, or is it more like they've got the problem and you have to kind of guide
Well,
them?
I think it's quite mind-boggling when they sort of, I think if a client has a problem and they can Google search a problem, for example, acne, then that's a little bit more of a sort of, the journey for them is much easier. It's somebody that just doesn't quite know what they want. If they're, for example, just looking at themselves on a Zoom call like this and notice some jowls hanging down, people are seeing things in their skin, in their faces now that probably previously they hadn't necessarily noticed. We're working in different ways, spending a lot of time on Zoom calls. So people are sort of coming in just sort of saying, what can you do? I don't like this. I don't like these lines. I don't like these lines. And there's more than one way to swing a cat. So quite often we'll set them off on a journey of going down one route of sort of improving things. We might have to sort of rejig that journey as we sort of go down it and decide that, no, we're not going to go down that route. We're going to start dealing with that pigment now. That will help to make, your face look a little bit younger. So take you back to where you were 10 years ago. And then we'll deal with those thread veins. And then we can start rejuvenating the skin. And then we can sort of try and iron out some of those fine lines and wrinkles. So the journey sometimes is clear. Sometimes it's not so clear. We'll sort of start with the things that really bother clients, but sometimes we have to build up to that. So I think it's quite mind-boggling for clients to know what they want. And that's where the consultation comes in. They come in and we always set aside an hour for a consultation. And that might include a patch test with laser or patch test for peels, etc. But we really have to sort of stress the fact that it is a journey, that, that actually your skin didn't get like this overnight. It's not going to be corrected overnight either. So they really have to sort of trust in the process, trust in what we're telling them, and understand that this is something that's going to take weeks, months, maybe even a year before they start really noticing some benefits to what they're doing. And that journey can be, as I say, rejigged along the way.
That sounds like a really in-depth process you've got there. I think that's important, having that consultation, especially in aesthetics. It is quite a big decision to make. So I think that's good that you kind of take the time and put that customer focus for the journey. 2.5 years since starting the Kalista Aesthetics business. Has there been any particular sort of challenges you've had to come going from working for a living to being a business owner? What are some of the main challenges you would say you've had to overcome?
Okay, well, I was just so very naive. I have to say that when I set up the website, I was sat by the phone when the website went live because I was sure that the phone was going to start ringing. And it's not true. So I've been so naive, really, coming from somewhere like the NHS where you're so well protected. You have annual leave, you have days off, and you even get sick pay. So it's a very different environment. So we have to let people know that we're here. And I guess the marketing side of things has been a really big challenge for me. Big learning. Just if I could go back and give myself advice 2.5 years ago, I would be doing it all very, very differently.
I think that is with business a lot of the time. It is learn as you go a lot, even if you've got a perfect plan. I think it rarely executes perfectly. So I've seen you've referred to the aging process and the anti-aging in the term of positive aging.
Yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, what's your philosophy on skincare and aging that you're trying to bring there?
Well, we here at Kalista sort of strong believers in sort of aging positively rather than the sort of anti-aging theory. It's kind of a bit of a word that we don't really bandy around too much. So we have deliberately steered away as nurses from injectable procedures. We don't do the B word and we don't do fillers. And really what we've tried to concentrate on is improving skin. And I don't think anything really trumps that sort of healthy looking skin sort of philosophy, if you like. So yes, we're all about sort of taking away those things that are starting to make you look a little bit older. It could be broken vessels, could be pigmentation, and then it could be just sort of improving the dermis to sort of plump it up, to iron out those fine lines and wrinkles. And then the non-surgical facelift, we do a HIFU treatment as well, which is sort of a deeper treatment for sort of sagging skin. So we've sort of gone down that route deliberately, really, and because there are people out there that don't want to go down the injectable route. So, we're here for them.
With your background in healthcare as well, transitioning into the aesthetic, has that medical knowledge kind of helped you with the preventative skincare?
Definitely, that actually it's a sort of long-term strategy, if you like. And we do have a good basic A&P background. We can understand what and explain how different skincare protocols work and why we're doing them, and I think that sort of validates us to the client. They know that we understand the process. So definitely our medical background has helped. It's also given us as sort of access to the sort of training that not all other professionals coming into this, or non-professional, if you like, coming into this industry, maybe don't have such easy access to. It's been a really long-winded way of coming into the beauty industry, but now that I'm in it as a registered nurse, I have probably a few more doors open to me than potentially I would have done as a beauty therapist.
So on that as well, and I'm sure you're probably aware, in the aesthetic industry, the regulation is kind of a hot topic coming up
Yeah.
in their thing. Do you have any particular views on that, or the ways it's going with like the sort of training and what's going out? I kind of see a lot of people talking
Yeah, the
about it. Do you think,
consultations.
yeah, the consultation, yeah, do
Yeah.
you sort of have a view one way or another, or staying out of it? Or
Well, it's got to be, I mean, as a registered nurse, I'm in a different position to somebody in the industry who's not registered but has been practicing for some time. And I know that the market has been fairly flooded, really, with individuals who have taken up aesthetic procedures that aren't necessarily fully qualified, insured, etc. And this is where the role that Cosmedi Check is filling is so brilliant, in that they recognize that there are people that are really experienced out there, not necessarily nurses or medics or dentists, that are doing a really good job. And the industry is flooded with people that could potentially cause harm. They're not necessarily trained to a high standard. They don't have that background knowledge. Knowledge is terrifying sometimes. The thought of putting a needle into somebody's face if they don't understand the anatomy and the sort of damage that they can do to somebody is quite astonishing. So as a registered nurse, I'm in a slightly different position to some of these practitioners who, because I already belong to a professional body, I already belong to the NMC, I have a code of conduct, a professional code of conduct. So I am coming at it from a slightly different angle, and I know the importance of licensing with my council, the importance of waste disposal, etc. That's something that is entrenched in my sort of moral, professional beliefs. So I do believe that the industry needs some form of licensing, and what form that's going to take, I don't know. I don't envy them their job, but I think Cosmedi Check and what Joe is doing, to at least rule out some of those individuals that aren't insured, don't have the correct training, and etc. It's a great start, isn't it?
Yeah, I think definitely he's put a lot of work in, Joe. I think the Cosmedi Check project is very much needed. It gives a checks and balance on what it's trying to do, and I think having somewhere where, even from the practitioner side as well, where you can kind of say, hey, I have been checked, to your audience. I imagine that gives you sort of an extra boost from your side. And then, yeah, for the clients kind of looking, if they know they can go somewhere and there has been kind of double checks done, that is helpful. And then also with Cosmedi Check as well, like I say, they're not taking the side of medic, non-medic. They're just kind of, is the correct insurance in place? Is the correct paperwork in place?
Well, even as a nurse, I belong to the BACN, the British Association of Cosmetic Nurses. So, but there are things, if a client wanted to go and check that, I was registered with them, there are things that a client might be looking for that aren't necessarily things that they would expect a registered nurse to offer. So again, that's where Cosmedi Check is really good for somebody like me, because it's a much broader directory of treatment offerings than, for example, going to the BACN.
A more specialized focus. For you, outside of your professional achievements, what have been some key milestones for you?
Gosh.
Most proud of?
Most proud of? Oh, of course, I'm most proud of my daughter producing a lovely
don't miss your daughter.
Who makes me even prouder, because she's a fantastic athlete. And so that's really that's got to be my biggest achievement, is producing the Southwest Under 15 Pentathlon Girls Champion the year before last, when she was just 14. So that's my biggest achievement outside of my professional work.
Yeah, hopefully she'll go on to do some more of that. I think that's it's quite a tough sport, pentathlon, I think, from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, it is. And now she's moved up to sort of heptathlon, although she's got it on pause at the moment because of GCSEs and things. So there we are.
So I know you focused a lot, obviously, on the IPL, the IPL treatment, the microneedling. Are there any other new treatments you're looking to introduce sort of in the future, or are you kind of just going to expand around the ones you have?
I'm always looking for new treatments, and that's part of my trouble. I'm never satisfied. I would love to be able to offer laser resurfacing. So that's my next, the erbium YAG laser resurfacing treatment. So for people that have really deep wrinkles, deeper acne scarring, that would be a treatment of choice, really. So so that's my next goal. We're working towards it, but we've got an open day in about a month's time on March the 2nd. So we're going to be doing some demonstrations of the different microneedling treatments that we offer, the dicolic peel. We might even be able to do a demonstration of the HIFU. So, we're sort of planning that at the moment, and sort of inviting all our current clients and anybody else that wants to come and chat with us and watch some treatments taking place, and come and check out our skincare range.
That's cool. So have you done open days before, or is this one of your first ones that you'll be running?
So when we first opened, when we launched, we did an open day. So lots of friends and family, and a couple of people that we'd never met before sort of turned up. So it was all very exciting. But yeah, it was more about friends and families. This one, we do have a good client database now. So we'll be inviting everybody along and doing goodie bags and maybe in a little competition. So yeah, looking forward to that. So this is the first one that we've planned since we've been sort of in full swing, if you like.
And what, if someone was thinking about coming to the open day or on the fence about it, would you say the main benefit of your client maybe not 100% sure about the treatments?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know about sort of skin prejuvenation, let alone, rejuvenation. So, just sort of somebody that's actually already got really good skin would benefit from starting some microneedling, even at this sort of in their 30s, glycolic peels at this stage as well, just to maximize their sort of skincare absorption, if you like. So there's lots of people that have never heard of microneedling, and it's such a brilliant treatment for prejuvenation, rejuvenation, for improving the appearance of acne. But I'm always surprised at how many people have never heard of it, and it always sounds a bit scary, doesn't it? Anything when you mention needles, there are a lot of people out there that aren't interested in it until they probably see that it's not that big a deal, but it has its benefits. So to be able to show people that without them committing to any, treatment themselves, I think is really beneficial. And I'm really hoping that we get a lot of interest from people that are sitting on the fence, that maybe would like to have a little dabble. Maybe they don't feel, I have had clients in here who, maybe they've got their daughter's wedding the following few months, who've said, I was a bit embarrassed that you would laugh at me if I turned up and wanted to improve my skin, because they're older ladies that already have wrinkles, and they didn't feel worthy of coming in for some sort of skin improvement. So, that's a little bit sad. And I hope that if there's anybody out there that is thinking that they will come and meet us and realize that, we're a nice team. We're not going to laugh at anybody for wanting to come and improve their skin, prior to something as big as that. So, if people are planning an event, if they're going to be in front of a camera and they want to look their best, there's an awful lot of things that we can offer to sort of help them feel more confident about doing that. So, come and see us and meet us, and I hope you'll like us.
I would definitely take advantage of that if you're in the area. So we spoke, you touched a little bit on marketing earlier. What do you find your best source of clients? Are you kind of a social media company, or do you kind of tend to more Google or sort of referral stuff?
So I mean, people do find us with a search, but they have to know what they're searching for on a Google search. So really, I think Facebook and Instagram are our biggest audience. I think that's where most of our clients are. I had a conversation with somebody who told me that TikTok is almost the next Google, if you like. If somebody's going to Google a treatment, they will go onto TikTok because they want to see a video. So that's something that's fairly new, and I'm not sure if our audience are on TikTok. I've yet to be convinced. I always thought it was a sort of younger audience, but so that's something that we're sort of looking into. But certainly the things that we do, people want sort of visual stimulus, if you like, about. So, before and after pictures are so powerful. Do you have jowls? Look at this treatment before and after. Nothing's more powerful than that to sort of draw people's interest. So definitely Instagram and Facebook is where I've always considered our clients to sort of come from. We have advertised locally in the small magazine that gets put through everybody's door, and we've had quite a few clients from that, but mostly the older client that doesn't necessarily go, surfing the internet. So they tend to be wanting warts and skin tags removed. That's where a lot of our clients come from. We've got a private GP practice in Salisbury that have chosen us as their referral clinic. For anything that they can't offer, they can refer to us. So hopefully we'll start seeing a few clients coming from their way. So definitely it's a real mixed bag, actually, because we offer such a diverse sort of menu.
I can imagine you'll find, for one treatment might be more of one platform over the other. Pushing out. TikTok's a funny one. I think I would still say it's probably still the younger market on there as well, from what I've seen. And I think for your industry, I think obviously you've got the video element, so you can sort of see where it would go popular. But I think Instagram's probably still more your age demographic, I would think, on a lot of it. But you do have to. Annoyingly with social media, it does change quickly, so you have to keep ahead of it a little bit. So if someone was going with kind of a similar career shift to you, from the healthcare role to entrepreneur, what kind of advice would you sort of give them? Like, you roll back those 2.5 years, you're sitting with yourself.
Yeah.
What's the game plan?
You've got to find something that you're really, really interested in. And I think, if I could go back a couple of years, I probably would go more down the laser route and become a real expert in laser. My only trouble with laser, or my only reservation with that, is that laser becomes something that not many people have done during the summer because of the risk of mixing UV rays and laser treatment. So I'm reserved about that advice. But laser is something that I'm particularly interested in. I've seen it make such, a difference in all the different aspects that we already offer. That's something that I would probably choose to do more of myself. But yeah, I think anybody that's coming from a medical background, I don't know. I think I would just say probably don't try and be as diverse as I am, because we've got a lot of treatments on offer here, and I'm trying to focus in on the ones that are really, really beneficial to people, where we really see a difference, and do more of the microneedling and the laser. And I probably could have saved myself, quite a lot of money on the other treatments that I have sort of not steered away from, but I don't focus on so much now.
Sometimes it's better having, one focus area as well, I think.
Yeah.
Again, it's a bit like you said, with the marketing, where it's on different channels and stuff. If you've got one focus area, you've got one main client avatar, you've got one channel, everything can be kind of a bit cheaper and cost effective. And I think it's also easier to push yourself out as a specialist and sort of, to more,
Exactly
go for a
that.
more
Yeah.
premium market, that sort of stuff. I think sometimes I see sort of in the PMU and some of the newer people, hopping on another training course a bit too quickly to do a new treatment. And I'd sort of agree, sell one thing really well, at least in the start, to get yourself established. So also with your brand, you're very Cosmedi Pros healthy, sort of positive approach in healthcare and with aging. With beauty standards, sort of, it's quite high pressure, constantly evolving. How do you keep that message going?
We've always tried to have that holistic approach. So if we're doing a treatment, for example, the body contouring, which is one of the treatments that I'm kind of veering away from a little bit, the body contouring, the fat freezing, there is so much that we don't have any control over, and if somebody's taking up a course of treatments for body contouring, for ultrasound cavitation, radiofrequency fat melting, fat freezing, but they're not actually doing the work they need to do at home to get the best results, it can be really frustrating for, as a practitioner. So, if they're not drinking enough water, if they're admitting that they've been out 3 times on the RAS and they've, been eating birthday cake all week, then they're not going to get the results that they're looking for. And so really, I think stressing that holistic approach to the whole sort of beauty industry can be really frustrating at times, because we just simply don't have any control over that. And I think this is where why I prefer sort of skin treatments and boosting and rejuvenating skin and the collagen induction, because we can really make small changes in lifestyle and what they're doing at home with skincare, and that actually they can do quite a lot for themselves by doing just small changes. So it can be really frustrating, because whatever we do in clinic, it's a bit like a boot camp here. Whatever we do as a clinic treatment is great at the time, and it will have results. But if you're not still doing your, I don't know, daily sit-ups, or you're going for your run in between your monthly boot camp, you're not going to see the same results. So that's probably in a nutshell.
So is there anything else you'd like to share today, or final thoughts you have for our listeners?
Well, I'm really, really trying to sort of stress the importance of not waiting until you have the signs of aging, etc., for you to start thinking about wanting to do something about it. So we're really trying to sort of push prejuvenation now so that you're anticipating issues with your skin. So prevention is obviously always going to be right up there. So SPF daily. And a lot of my posts involve nagging about that one because it's something that's so simple that you can do. And it's the best anti-aging product you can put on your skin. So SPF every day, but also the benefits of having clinic treatments long before you see the signs that you might need them. So it's anticipating, and having a knowledge about your collagen levels dropping as you age, and it's only when they've dropped significantly that those signs are really obvious. So I'm really trying to encourage those sort of 30-something-year-olds to come and do a little bit of microneedling. They don't have to do it very often. And if they're doing good skincare at home, they're using SPF every day and a couple of microneedling treatments, they will go into their 40s with amazing skin, and then they're not fighting a losing battle. They're really they've got a good advantage.
Yeah, prevention is better than cure, as they say.
Boring but true.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for sharing all that with us today, Kim. We will, wherever you're watching this, there will be links in the description to the opening day and also Kim's socials and wherever you can connect with Kim. You can always ask me any comments. If I can answer them, I will, but if not, I'm sure Kim will help me and get them back to you. So yeah, thank you guys, and we will see you next week.